Hello, hello, and welcome to a One Piece live reaction and reading to chapter 11091, which just released a few hours ago. So, we're going to be continuing on Egghead, I believe, where we left off. So, let's hop right into it, see what we've got. Got a Shonen Jump cover. It's Luffy on the front with a cheetah. Looks like a cheetah chasing him. And then behind the cheetah is Chopper and Usopp. Usopp riding Chopper. It's very nice. And for the first page, we've got a nice color spread. Ooh, it's pizza themed. We've got flamingos and a giant pizza in the middle. Luffy, Usopp, Zoro, and Nami are all around it taking bites along with the flamingos. In the background, we've got Chopper and Brooke sitting at a table eating a slice of pizza. And then we've got Jinbei and Sanji helping to lift the pizza out of the pizza oven. And there are also lots of little mice strewn about. There's a little mouse with a pizza cutter on top of the big pizza that Luffy, Usopp, Zoro, and Nami are eating. Interesting. Where's Robin? Huh. Looking around, I don't see Robin anywhere. Background. That is interesting. No Robin. That is odd. I wonder if there's some meaning behind that. I see a table with wine, bottles of wine on it, and two glasses. Maybe Robin was there? Okay. Huh. She's definitely not around, sitting around eating the big slice of pizza. She's not with Jinbei and Sanji. She's not with Chopper and Brooke. Okay. Well, on to the chapter. Admiral Kizaru has begun his incursion. The Navy makes its move. Get ready, the enemy won't take this line down. Got the pacifistas getting ready to fire their lasers. Beep, beep. Don't let them use their lasers, calls out a Marine officer. Fire the cannons. Boom, boom. They start firing their cannons. It's the weaponized sea beast. Fire. Whoa, we've got some sea beast attacking the Navy ships. We've got that, looks like a lion one with the visor that says chomp, chomping through the hull of a Navy ship very easily. Got that rat or mouse with a drill nose popping up out of the water. Okay, next panel we've got that guy with the mini chins. Steam Knuckle. Huh. Steam Knuckle. And looking at this panel, it looks like he has a robotic arm and he's punching that hippo sea beast. Seems to have knocked it out. So this Vice Admiral is no slouch, it seems. He has a mechanical arm. That is interesting. Could Vegapunk have been responsible for designing that arm? Is it steam powered since the attack's name is Steam Knuckle? So steam powered arm? Hmm. Okay, we've got the other Vice Admiral, the lady with the short hair and a spike collar. Our ship's alone. She's using Skywalk and dodging the Pacifista Mark III lasers. There's a fight you want, I'll give you one. And she kicks one in the jaw. Okay. The Vice Admirals are touching down. Back to the Labostratum. The Marines and Robo Beast at the coast are really going at it. Usopp is watching them through a video transponder. And this is Vegapunk already, but Sentomaru is waiting for them with a squadron of Pacifista under his command. It should be clear that the island's defenses are nigh impenetrable. Then we got the chart for the Pacifista control hierarchy again. The authority chip holders. Then Sentomaru with 50 PX units. Vegapunk and Estella and satellites. And then the 5 elders above Vegapunk. So they sent that guy ahead to take out the deterrent. Isn't that Kizaru? Stussy was right. They sent in an admiral. That's Nami. And then Usopp and then Nami. And here's Brook. It seems those dark memories from Shibondi have come back to haunt us. They've already started fighting down there. And Vegapunk. I'm sorry, Sentomaru. Asking you to face him is too cruel. I'll understand if you choose to flee. And we're back to the fight. Sentomaru is using his forearm and his other arm to block a kick from Kizaru. That kick still sends him flying. You really ought to surrender, Sentomaru. Yasakani no Magatama. Then Kizaru does that attack. Sentomaru's panting. Sorry, Unc, I gave my word to Straw Hat Luffy, and he's running away from the attack. It's hitting the ground behind him. He's dropped his axe. Okay, he's picking it up. And since when have you been one to get chummy with pirates? And Sentomaru has grabbed his axe, and it looks like he's preparing to go in for an attack. I owe the old man my life. I don't care whose side I gotta take if it helps him escape. Take this. Okay, makes a swing and tries to cut Kizaru. Of course, Kizaru just splits his body in half, so the axe passes right through him. And this. We're going into a flashback. I thought we were meant to deal with the bear attacks. What happened? Who did this? Some kid beat us to it. We've got Sentomaru here, a little child Sentomaru, beaten up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bears. And here is Vegapunk and younger Kizaru. Kizaru speaking, the villagers are all wimps. I hate them. I don't ever want to. Or, wait. I know that's Sentomaru speaking. The villagers are all wimps. I hate them. I don't ever want to go back. And this is Kizaru. They kicked you out, huh? All I need is a job that pays good. I'm tough, so I don't get hungry or anything. Here's Vegapunk. Oh, then can I ask, what are you looking to buy with all that money? Onigiri. And then Kizaru scoffs and they start laughing. Now we're back to the present. Kizaru, you were so cute back then. Now back to the flashback. In that case, how would you like to be my bodyguard, Squirt? You'll really give me a job? Awesome. Hey, Unc, how am I meant to protect Grandpa Punk? Come teach me. Don't call me that. I'm still young. Okay. So Sentomaru is naturally strong, or was naturally strong. Looks like Vegapunk taught him, which is probably how he got into the Marines. Scrolling back, yeah, Kizaru is in the Marines at this time. He's got the coat. Looks like he might be a vice admiral at this stage, or maybe a captain. He's got a skull cap on. And is he? Yeah, he's not wearing his glasses or shades. And we're back to the present. I taught you the best I could. Sentomaru-kun. I actually got a palm. It's Sentomaru using a sumo strike. That said, my guard isn't anything to sneeze at either, you know. Whoa. Kizaru fires off a massive laser at Sentomaru. Huge explosion. Looks like it hit Sentomaru. Did some damage. Here's the authority. Kizaru is holding the authority chip. All pacifista units come in. The previous command issuer is unconscious and out of commission. Authority has been transferred to me. There's been a change of plans. Protect the naval fleet and send the weaponized sea beasts to the ocean floor. And the pacifista are picking up that command. The objective of the pacifista squadron has been successfully changed. Now they're firing on the sea beast. Oh, here's St. J. Garcia. What a waste. But I suppose if I had to choose, the pacifista are the better assets to secure. Keep me updated on all casualties incurred. Yes, sir. We're back to the Labostratum. Usopp has been watching the fight. He says some Sentomaru's finished. Vegapunk is starting to cry. We can't afford to dilly-dally. Let's lift the defense system. Yeah, we won't let the time he bought us go to waste. You won't crack it. Don't forget I'm a Vegapunk too. Now we're looking at Kizaru. He's looking up. Focus. Kizaru is made of light. He could be passing through the laser barrier any minute now. And Usopp reacting. Wait, what? You mean he can get in here whenever he wants? Indeed. That guy almost wiped us out back in the day, you know? Way ahead of you. All we need to do is carry the ship over to the back of the islands. Let's make it happen. Got the Vega Force carrying the Thousand Sunny. Luffy and Bonnie are eating. Ding, ding. Lilith, what's that racket? The emergency siren, but why? No one should be able to get through the barrier. My, the Straw Hat Pirates. How nostalgic. There's Kizaru, Flash. It's appearing on the, or flashing through the barrier. Let's book it. Once the barrier is down, we need to be ready to get out of here pronto. The power station. Punk Records in York. Those are the three things that can't become collateral. Honestly, it would be nice if I could add old friends to that list. Unfortunately, though, Dr. Vegapunk's elimination is our top priority. The Sentomaru is still knocked out, laying charred on the ground. Kizaru has infiltrated the dome. Yeah, Luffy and the others are still making their way back. Hurry, Luffy. Luffy-san, this isn't looking good. As Vegapunk, it'd be pointless to lift the barrier if the ship isn't in position. Stussy notices Hattori, Lucci's pigeon. Coo coo. And a dash. What? Yep, Lucci, as I suspected in the last chapter, Lucci is definitely still on his mission. Stussy noticed it. Lucci is dashing in at full speed to attack Vegapunk while no one's looking. Stussy jumps in the way and takes the Shigan, the finger pistol. Uh-oh. Was that that can't be fatal. I mean, it was intended to be fatal for Vegapunk, but he's not a fighter. Stussy is CP0, so it shouldn't be fatal to her to take this finger pistol. But she is bleeding from the mouth. And she falls over. Vegapunk looks startled. Stussy-chan. Sorry, Nami-san, I'm borrowing this. What? The bubble gun? Seems your friend left you out of the loop. Okay, Sanji takes the bubble gun from Nami, uses it on Kaku, and Kaku is startled. And Sanji says to Kaku, seems your friend left you out of the loop. And then Zoro jumps in and blocks a kick from Lucci. Looks like you waited for a backup to grow a spine. Then Lucci, you're all as good as dead now that Kizaru and I are working together. Should know by now not to underestimate us. They're going crashing out of the Labostratum. Here's Kizaru. I was wondering where the ship got to when I didn't see it at the shore. Hurry. Sent an admiral, Luffy. What should we do? Hmm? Hey, Luffy. Hmm? Hey, long time no see. You've got Luffy jumping in, kicking Kizaru. Kizaru's blocking it. You see the Conqueror's Hockey Lightning coming from Luffy, where his kick makes contact with Kizaru. Kizaru, I see that you're as cheeky as ever. And Luffy, we're 100 times stronger than we were 2 years ago, Kizaru. Engaging an admiral. And that is the end of the chapter. And of course, we are on break next week. Not entirely surprising, since now these breaks after Oda's return are making a little bit of sense, because I believe we still haven't caught up to the chapters. I believe we're still burning through the chapters that he wrote before going in for the eye surgery, and we'll probably, after this string, we'll hit the chapters he started writing after the eye surgery. But there may be more interruptions still because I know that right now he's been traveling. He's traveled to the US to be there for the premiere of the One Piece live action adaptation, which starts at the end of the month, the 31st, the very last day, which is tomorrow. So all that traveling is probably part of the reason why there's so many breaks, because he's been overseeing and supervising the live action as much as he possibly can to make sure that goes well. So this chapter, we have the big ending. We know Luffy is engaging with Kizaru. So maybe this will be a full fight. I see nothing that could possibly interrupt the fight. I mean, the goal should be to get the Mary to sea so that they can escape with Vegapunk. But Kizaru's right there. So realistically, they can't escape until they've repelled or defeated Kizaru. So there's no real option to run away here. Then we have Zoro fighting with Lucci. Will that be a full fight? That's questionable. Sanji has disabled Kaku. Pretty established that there's nothing that can break those bubbles, so I don't think Kaku will be escaping. Then again, it could be possible that Lucci could somehow break the bubble. And if Lucci shatters the bubble and frees Kaku, now that Kaku is aware of Lucci's plan to continue trying to assassinate Vegapunk, he will probably join forces with him again. And then it would be Zoro and Sanji versus Kaku and Lucci. Stussy seems to be down, disabled for now, after taking the finger pistol. Sentomaru. I don't think Sentomaru's dead, so perhaps he will wake up and yeah, he could wake up and get to the Labostratum and maybe do something to aid the Straw Hats in escaping. The Vice Admirals, they made landfall, I believe, on the island, but they can't get close to Labostratum until the shield goes down, and the shield goes down when the Straw Hats are trying to escape. And did they take it down? I don't believe they took it down yet. Nope. Yeah, the shield is still up, the barrier. But the vice admirals are on the island, and the pacifista have been turned. So basically, all their defensive forces have been stopped, turned. So all they have left is the lasers at this point. Yeah, all they have at this point is the laser barrier. And actually, that's it. Sentomaru can wake up and come help them. He's not injured too badly. But that's gonna be it. It's just the straw hats and the satellites. We know that the satellites aren't really fighters. But since the barrier is still up, they really don't have to worry about three right now. They have to worry about Lucci, Kaku, and Kizaru. So we'll get to finally see Luffy clash against an admiral since he has unlocked Gear 5 and since he's mastered the Rio, the Conqueror's Haki coding. So that will be interesting. I'm thinking with all of that, he realistically should be able to defeat Kizaru. The thing is, I'm not sure that they will be able to complete the battle. I don't see that happening. The most likely thing is that something will interrupt the fight and somehow they'll be able to escape. The second most likely thing is that Luffy somehow is able to disable or repel Kizaru and then they can run away and escape. And I put at the least likely thing in my mind is Luffy completely defeats Kizaru here. And then they leave. Yeah. So we have two fronts. What is... I'll have to go back and look at the earlier chapters. I don't think the distance is too far from the Labostratum to the back of the island where they're taking the Sunny. So it could be possible that Lucci and... Well, Lucci's dealing with Free right now, so just Lucci at this moment would be able to chase down Kizaru so that they can join forces. But I feel like Lucci wouldn't do that because his goal is to kill Vegapunk. I mean, it's the goal of Kizaru as well, but Kizaru is busy with Luffy. Ideally, Kizaru would go for Vegapunk. So that actually opens up another option. Since Kizaru doesn't know the exact location of Vegapunk, he could think that Vegapunk is on the ship, or he could think Vegapunk is in the Labostratum still, in which case maybe he clashes with Luffy here and then Vegapunk leaves to head for the Labostratum to look for Vegapunk. But the thing is, Luffy wouldn't let him leave unless Kizaru defeats Luffy. So basically, now that they've clashed, they're stuck in this battle because Luffy's not going to let Kizaru leave, and Kizaru, he would let Luffy leave if he saw a chance to get Vegapunk, but that opportunity probably is going to prevent itself right now. So things are starting to heat up on Egghead. Looks like we might be heading towards the climax because things have gotten really intense now. Things are turning to a point where the Straw Hats no longer have the protection that they had before. Their advantages are slowly starting to fade away. At least the Seraphim are contained for now, but that's another ticking time bomb because if Kizaru or Lucci is able to reach the basement containment area where the Seraphim are and let them loose, then that vastly increases the number of enemies that the Straw Hats have to deal with inside the dome, even with the shield up, keeping the admirals and the rest of the Navy out. So they're really in a situation where they're disadvantaged. And I think escape is going to be the priority, the goal. I think that something is going to have to interrupt the clash between Luffy and Kizaru. And something is going to have to aid up, slow down the Marines, so that the Straw Hats have a chance to escape. Also, let me scroll up and look at something. Noticing we haven't seen Robin at all this chapter. There's been a theory going around since last chapter that perhaps Robin has already been taken by Blackbeard. And the last time we saw Robin, that was actually Katarina Devon disguised as Robin. Blackbeard being here would provide a major interruption and distraction that could possibly allow the Straw Hats to escape. But the problem with that is if they have Robin, I don't believe the Straw Hats would want to escape the island at all. Their plans would entirely change. They would want to stay on the island until they find Robin and get her back. So, if Blackbeard has Robin, he would already have to have taken Robin completely off the island. And then the Straw Hats would want to get off the island as soon as possible so they could go save Robin. But that would also mean, that would also put a delay on their sailing towards Elbaf. Because Blackbeard has Robin, he would probably want to do one of two things, or probably two things in order. go back to Beehive to reunite with his crewmates, the rest of his crew, get them together, and prepare to sail out to use Robin's ability to track down a red poneglyph. So that would be the sequence I would see Blackbeard following if he has possession of Robin right now. He'll want to use her abilities as soon as possible to get access to a red poneglyph if he doesn't already have possession of one, which I believe he doesn't. Because there's no reason for Blackbeard to go to Elbath unless there's a poneglyph there or something else that he wants, which could be a possibility. But he would already have to have the information of the location of the poneglyph on Elbath to know to go to Elbath. So if Blackbeard has Robin, I see that as something that would delay the Straw Hats heading to Elbath right away. And that's if he took Robin off the island. If he has Robin and he's still on Egghead Island, then the Straw Hats aren't leaving. Which means they have to stay here, fight the Navy forces, and seek out and fight the Blackbeard pirates that are here hiding on Egghead. Unless Blackbeard clashes with the Marines first and severely reduces their forces, and it becomes more of a Straw Hats versus the Blackbeards, the few Blackbeards that are here, with the Navy as a third party, so it's like a three-way, but the Navy force is greatly reduced, so it's not as much of a threat to the Straw Hats. That would really be a big old mess. I could kind of see it going that way, but I'm not entirely convinced that Robin has been taken, but the more I see these chapters now, even though it's only 2 chapters so far, it's interesting. No Robin. We see, let's see, do we see every other Straw Hat? I don't believe we see Jinbei. Let me scroll through the chapter and make sure. We don't see Chopper either. I believe those 3 were all together. Yes. We see Brooke, we see Usopp, we see Nami, we see Sanji and Zoro. We see Frankie. So yeah, it's not just Robin missing from this chapter, which eases things up a little bit. Because we haven't seen Jinbei or Chopper either. But yeah, that's gonna be interesting. Shame that we're gonna have to deal with yet another break, but it's okay. There's quite a bit to speculate about as this arc is starting to come to a head. And there are still some hidden elements, I believe, that are going to reveal themselves. Like the Blackbeards. It would be perfect in terms of something to create a big enough distraction that the Straw Hats can make their way off the island and escape. I'm sure we're still going to be here on Egghead because all the other storylines they were covering have pretty much wrapped up and concluded. Running away from Kizaru. Uchi, Kaku. Yep, in 2 weeks we will see what happens here. I definitely think we are going to get at least a decent clash so we can see just how much stronger Luffy is compared to Kizaru. And that will be good. We'll get sort of a, if we get a good enough clash, we'll get sort of an idea of where the Admiral's strength is compared to a fledgling Yonko at the very least. Because we've seen they aren't really, not so much on the level of like experienced high level Yonko, but they might be, I think, I would probably put the Admirals at between first Yonko Commander and Yonko fledgling Yonko. So ones that became Yonko very recently, like Luffy, Shanks, and even though Shanks has been a Yonko for a few years now, like at least 6 years. Maybe just 3. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, just recent Yonko. But Shanks is probably, even though he is recent fledgling in terms of time, strength-wise, he's probably as strong or maybe stronger than like Kaido. But for the Yonko like Buggy, Luffy, and maybe Teach, maybe not Teach. Hard to gauge Teach because we could put him above Law for sure, and Law and Kid, but I probably wouldn't say he's on Shanks's level, but he could be because the way he fights is very much like a true pirate, where he takes advantage of situations and cheats and all that. So you don't get to see him really fight fully and go all out very often. But he could possibly be near to Shanks' level. Either way, if there are two Yonko on the island, that would throw a huge wrench in the works. That would shake up the Navy and create a situation for the Straw Hats to escape, provided that Blackbeard doesn't have Robin. Or Blackbeard has Robin, but he's already left the island, so the Straw Hats have to leave the island anyway. I'm thinking that is probably the most likely occurrence if we're talking about a huge third random event that creates enough of a distraction. The other thing I could possibly see is Sentomaru coming back and doing something that allows the Straw Hats to escape. Hard to figure out what exactly he could do because he's probably not going to be fighting off anyone in his condition, not defeating anyone like Lucci or Kaku or Kizaru. But he might be able to create a distraction or do something that disables them for long enough for Straw Hats to escape. So those are probably the two strongest options here, at least seemingly. But that's a good chapter. Thanks so much for watching, and I will catch you all in 2 weeks for the next chapter, but I might do a review of the live action since I believe all 8 episodes of the season drop tomorrow, but the episodes are long, so I believe they're like an hour to a few hours each, so it'll be quite a long session. Might do it over a few days. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I will catch you later.